what's going on? Sorry. Hello, it's me. I'm Jon. This is Jon Does. This is the show where I talk about stuff that I've done or watched. How's everybody doing? Oh, right. Of course. I forgot. I keep forgetting. I would say these are sponsored, but there's no money exchange in this process whatsoever. But don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. That is my website. That is the best place to follow what I'm up to, and it's the best place to support this channel too. There's all kinds of stuff there. I have a shop where you can find cool stuff like oh yeah, sorry, I have my tote bag, my trusty tote bag. I have a couple of these. I keep them in my car, use them for grocery shopping and whatnot. Super durable bags. Really like these bags. The prints look great. And the handles come in color options. There's like yellow, red, and black, I think. Yeah, go ahead and check out wilddinosaur.com. It's a really great place to help me continue to do what I do best, which is make weird stuff. I have been scouring my brain, planning things out, doing a lot of stuff. One of the things that I just finished this last week, actually yesterday, was I finished this quarter of classes. And I'm probably getting A's in both of my classes. I got to finish one or two things. I have like 2 weeks to finish one or two things. I'm going to do these soon, probably tonight or early this week. But yeah, I'm done with my editing class. I'm done with my writing class. I've turned in 2 drafts of a script. I'm probably not going to shoot this script because I feel like it's my second short film, if that makes sense. I haven't shot any short films yet. I've just done the only things that I've done, music videos and sketches and stuff like that. But yeah. I feel like this is it's a Western, so there's a little bit more budget that I need. I think I could shoot it for under $10,000. I'm pretty sure I could shoot it for under $10,000. Yeah, anyways, I just been doing stuff. I'm really into playing guitar. And I need to sell some stuff. So those are the things that I've been doing, or need to do still. I feel like there's been a lot going on. It's just mostly been school. Well, I guess it feels like I've been super busy because in between finishing up school stuff, I binged watched a bunch of things actually. Some stuff I don't think I'm going to do reviews on. I watched the Guardians holiday special, which was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was fine. There was a couple of things in it that I think are important going forward. There's one particularly important plot line, but I feel like it's one of those things where I feel like it was built up like Civil War, Captain America Civil War, built up because of something that we saw in Winter Soldier. You remember in Winter Soldier there's like a scene where they show like stuff that Bucky had done when he was like over the years as the Winter Soldier, and one of the things they show is him killing Tony Stark's parents, and that becomes a plot point later on. They do something like that in the holiday special. I don't want to spoil it. I don't really want to talk about it though because I don't have a ton to say. Other than it's fine. It was fun. Yeah, standard holiday special. There's musical numbers, which I didn't really care for that much, but they were fine. Not they were bad or anything like that. I don't know. I don't I don't dislike musicals. There's actually a couple musicals I really do like, but I don't like the holiday like musical thing very much. Out of the few musicals that I really like, none of them are like holiday themed. Well, that's not true. Nightmare Before Christmas is holiday themed. So yeah. What else did I watch? I watched a bunch of stuff. Two of which we're going to talk about today. One we'll talk about after the break. One we'll talk about before the break. But yeah, there was a couple of shorter things that I binged. What was... Sounds like someone's screaming outside. Yeah, what is that? Oh, it's just kids playing. It sounds like screaming. Yeah, yeah, I can hear him now. Okay. What was the other thing that I watched? This is something I also don't want to do a review on because it was like I kind of just needed to watch something to like not think, and I picked a really dumb movie to to not think about, and it was perfect for me at the time. It's not a great movie. I don't totally recommend it, but it's fine. But it was it's on Netflix. The School for Good and Evil, I think is what it was called, something like that. It's a total like, oh dang, those kids are having a good time out there. I thought it was screaming, but I can clearly hear like laughing. Uh, Man, I kind of wish I was a part of that. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, don't judge me for watching it. Um, I don't know if we'll get more of that or whatnot, but I mean, it was cute. It was a cute movie, and I think there was some really good themes. So I'm gonna take this off. It's actually hotter now than it was a little bit ago. Um, um, yeah, it was. There's some really good themes in it. Particularly, there's a couple of things I've seen recently where they're taking some attempts on um, different takes on like love interests or what a person fights for. You know, like for the longest time in um, in our storytelling, we've had like guy saves girl. Um, Type story because they're infatuated with each other, or you know, some of these fairy tales that we grew up listening to or reading or watching. And this one does a different take where it's like friendship, which is not an uncommon one, but I do think that it was like they very much leaned into like, well, this doesn't have to be a love story type thing, which is totally cool. I actually really appreciate that when it's not always about like the person being the object, but the friendship and loyalty. You know, I think that was a good message that they got through with that movie, and I think it's for the demographic it leans towards, which is preteen to like young adult women. I think is kind of the demographic there. I think it's fun if you are, you know, looking for just a fun fantasy, a young adult thing that borders like a Harry Potter feel. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's as good as the Harry Potter franchise, but there's actually quite a bit of names in it too. Charlize Theron is in it, and Kerry Washington. There's like one or two other pretty big names. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna pull this up. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so it came out this year. It's on Netflix. Michelle Yeoh is one of the teachers. Yeah, the teachers there are the main cast, or the not the main cast, but the big names, I should say. Rob Delaney, who we've been hearing about since Deadpool 2, pops up in it briefly. I think it's kind of it for the real big names. Patti LuPone is in it. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Oh, sorry. There's another huge name in it that I completely forgot. Just because she's not in it physically, she does the voice of a character. Kate Blanchett, which is a big one, pass over. But yeah, Kate Blanchett does a voice for this, so it's fun. I watched before I get into the 2 reviews that I am gonna do today. I'm just one of the other things I watched. I'm not reviewing it today. I'm probably gonna do it on Friday because I need to rewatch it. I needed to take a break. Last night was my last class. Today I didn't want to do too much except for work on the show, and I did. I'll admit it. I played some Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a while. So it's kind of what I wanted to do for most of the day, just to kind of relax after yesterday, because I had to actually make a verbal argument in my final class about some editing. What was it? Oh yeah. So there was one other thing that I watched. I binged through it. Well, I didn't binge, but there was 2 episodes of the new series of Willow that dropped last night at midnight, and I did watch them, but I didn't start them till late, and so I passed out. I think I watched most of the first episode. I remember how the first episode ends. I might have drifted off somewhere the 3rd act of the first episode, and then I basically fell asleep for like probably 20 or 30 minutes of the second episode, middle of the second episode. So I should rewatch and form better opinions, I think, about the Willow series. But I'll talk about it more on Friday because I want to rewatch those, but I should have done this. I say I should have. I had a lot going on. I want to rewatch Willow, the movie, the original movie, probably tonight actually, and then I'll rewatch the 2 Willow episodes, and I'll talk about those on Friday. But today, what do I have today? All right, I am gonna spend probably less time on this one than the other one because I think there's more to talk about with the second one. But the first review I have today is for Netflix's Warrior Nun Season 2. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Warrior Nun... Oh no. Is there something wrong with that image? I think I... Yeah. That's hilarious. This never happens. This was a screen grab. It screen grab whatever the hover over. That's funny. I can't believe I didn't notice that before. Oh, I know why I didn't notice it. I really hope nobody from school is watching. I was doing this during class last night. I was getting my graphics for class last night. So, oh, forgive me for if you could see. What's up, Derby? How's it going? Are you in the 501st? I didn't know that. I didn't know you're in the 501st. Well, move along, soldier. Nothing to see here. I was just laughing because my graphic is a screen grab and I got some pop up and I just didn't notice it. Yes, I am. I died. Well, is it because you couldn't? It's because you can't aim, or did you hit your head on a door as it was, as you were walking through? Um, well, welcome. I'm talking about Warrior Nun Season 2. Um, fair enough. So yeah, Warrior Nun is it's a comic series I wasn't familiar with, but I did watch season 1 like 2 years ago now when it came out. And it was just that perfect dumb piece of content that it hit right at the beginning of the pandemic, and so it was a real good time in a real bad time. It's not the best series ever. It's a fun one, and you definitely have to put some stuff aside. It definitely deals with like religious stuff. So like, if you're a religious person and you don't like fantasy alternate takes on things, you probably not for you. But if you are into stuff like that, Warrior Nun the fuck, yeah. It was I wasn't familiar with this, and it just kind of came out of nowhere for me. So when I watched it, I was like, what the hell is this? And it's I actually don't know where they shoot it, but it's an international show, and so there's a lot of hold on, let me find out, where do they shoot? Andalusia and Spain. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's all shot there. Yeah, I think it's shot mostly in Spain. But yeah, it's really fun. It's just one of those shows if you're looking for like something fun. Um, you know, this is the type of series that if this was like a male character, this would be a Nicolas Cage show. You know what I mean? He would be all over this. Actually, he should be in this anyways. um, I'll do as quick a summary as I can. Uh, well, here I'll read what IMDb says. After waking up in a morgue, an orphan teen discovers she now possesses superpowers as the chosen halo bearer for a secret sect of demon hunting nuns. Okay, that was a pretty straightforward one. Yeah, so this girl who she's an orphan. I think she might have been in a wheelchair or something. I actually didn't rewatch the first season before season 2, but I think she was like in a wheelchair or something like that. She dies, and then there's this whole big battle that goes on with these warrior nuns and like a demon, and they end up in the morgue. And the like head warrior nun, who's the halo bearer, she like takes her halo out and puts it into this dead girl, which reanimates this dead girl, and now she's the new warrior nun. So yeah, instantly it's pretty awesome if you can't tell. um, so that's basically the premise, and she has to get kind of caught up to date with the rest of the warrior sect, and learn to be a part of this team and everything like that. And season 2 is pretty wacky itself. I wouldn't say it really introduces much new concept. Like, I kind of think about things like this. Like, I should do a full episode on both Iron Sky movies. But if you haven't seen Iron Sky, you should go watch those movies. Those are fucking nut job movies. They're basically like the Nazis survived World War II by making a moon base, and then an astronaut in modern times drops his iPhone on the moon, and they reverse engineer the technology to like try to take over Earth. It's a nut job movie. And then there's a second one, and that second one is even crazier than the first one. Warrior Nun season 2 is not as like leaps and bounds crazy as the first one, but it is still fun, and it still like introduces some. It becomes less of like a wacky thing and more fits into like Netflix formula. Like some of the things that play out felt like something I would see in Umbrella Academy or some of these other Netflix shows. And I'm not saying like, let's see, I'm not saying that it's more just the formula that I feel like I get from Netflix shows. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think setting up something like this, where it's this crazy concept and then going into more of a formulaic thing for season 2, works. If they get a season 3, which I'm not sure if there's any announcement yet. Let's see. It's not greenlit yet. I see one article from Comic Book Movie Review or Comic Book Review, CBR. Warrior Nun fans organized to convince Netflix to greenlight season 3, and then the next article is from Netflix Live. 5 Netflix shows in the most danger of being canceled in 2023. So I do think it's probably sitting on that fence for sure. But in the event they do a season 3, shit needs to get weird. Shit really needs to get weird. We're playing with theology, and they go there with both seasons, but I would really like to see some crazy stuff happening now. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but the season was fun too, because characters that you maybe not once the lead character, what's her name again? Is it Ava? Played by Alba Batista. I don't care about this stuff usually, but I heard she was rumored to be dating Chris Evans. So there's your MCU connection. Yeah, her name's Ava. She's pretty badass. You know what? I gotta admit, there's a lot of really beautiful people in this show. As cheesy as some of the storylines go, you get some more time with the like other nuns that are in this sect, and there's even one that's like a fall. I hate to say fallen nun, because it's not like that so much, but the main antagonist of this whole thing is an angel that has been like locked away in a cave for a long time, Adriel. And Adriel is connected to all of this because the halo that the warrior nun is the bearer of, the halo was Adriel's halo, and so he's in modern times trying to get that shit back, because he's like, I need my halo, gotta get my halo. I'm still laughing about the screen grab. That's silly. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I didn't notice that. It's something I should have noticed. So again, I look dumb. My apologies. But what's new? I always look dumb. These glasses aren't real. Chug, chug, chug. I apologize to people who don't like the sound of liquids being drunk on air. because I chug liquids. I've always done this. I go through. Here's my stickers. I go through probably 2 or 3 of these a day, and part of that is the fact that I just like a sip. When I take a sip, if this is completely full, a sip is probably like down to here. That's actually about a sip for me. Like what's in there. Not what's in there, but what's missing is about a sip for me. So, my apologies when I drink on stream. What else about Warrior Nun is interesting? I was about to say not much, but it's fun. Season 2 is maybe a little bit of a step back from season 1, and I think for me, season 1, I just didn't know what Warrior Nun was, and to not only see that like advertised, because it was literally like I didn't see trailers, I didn't see posters or anything, like it was on Netflix, and I was like, what is this? This is insane. Warrior Nun. And I think it took me a couple like pass-bys to be like, all right, fine, I'll watch an episode of it. I do think that Alba Batista, the main actress, feels maybe a little bit more comfortable in the role than in season 1. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have like specific critiques other than like I hate saying this because I enjoy it so much, but you get what you pay for, you know? Like I'm the type of person that used to watch, like, my friends and I used to go get grande meals from Taco Bell, and then we would watch a sci-fi original, like The Abominable Snowman movie or whatever, with, like, garbage CG. But this isn't that. I mean, I think the acting can feel a little patchy at times. And it's just a ridiculous story. Like the whole concept of this is like, what the fuck is this? But if you can just accept it and go, you might have a good time. So yeah, check out Warrior Nun season 2 if you have already. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As I was talking about this whole thing, I remembered there was another thing that I binged that I didn't mention. And I'll talk about it briefly, and I want to maybe talk about it more later because so I watched 1899 on Netflix. It's the mystery on the ship, that whole story. Now I watched it, but what I was finding out as I was watching it was another show that's on Netflix called Dark. I've been hearing people talking about this show for a while now, and it's something I feel like I should probably check out at some point. But there's 3 seasons, and apparently like they'd only planned for 3 seasons, so it's got a definitive ending and stuff like that. So I guess there's some repeat actors from Dark. I think it's the same production. I don't know if it's the same writers or whatnot. I don't know that much about Dark. But I want to watch Dark and then talk about 1899 because it feels like they're kind of a package. In a sense, not that they like are one after another, but it's it just feels like something I should talk about then, because I don't know if I appreciated 1899 that much. I watched all of it. It was one of those things where it got me. There was enough going on that it got me to the next episode to finish the whole season. And one other show did that for me that I watched, and that was the OA. And I absolutely hate the OA. I do not like that show. I don't understand why people like that show, but that's my own thing. This is a hill I will die on. It's like me not liking Journey. Yep, that's another thing. That's the one band that I do not like. Journey is god-awful. OA, as a show, I did not care for. Thought it was bad. Like, I thought it was bad. I don't think, is it Lake Bell that was in that one? I don't think she's bad. I actually, was that, damn. Was that, I don't want to get that wrong, because, no, it was Britt Marling. Okay, yeah. For some reason, in my head, they're kind of similar people. I don't dislike Britt Marling either. But, God, I did not like that show. Yeah, I thought it was, like, actually bad. It just pissed me off so much at the end of the first season. Anywho. So, yeah. 1899 is not that for me. It's not the OA. I would maybe... I'll keep an eye out for a season 2 trailer whenever that happens in like a year or whatever. But I do want to understand Dark first before. I'll definitely watch that before season 2 of if there's a season 2 of 1899. But anyways, so I watched quite a bit of stuff, and I got a lot of work done, which is incredible. I didn't play Assassin's Creed for like a full week. Just made me sad. Alright, it's time for a commercial break. What commercial are we gonna run? I can finally get this graphic down. I don't think my Wednesday graphic, because it's a repeat graphic, so I don't think it's as bad as the other one. Alright, we'll do a 40-second commercial, and we'll be back to talk about Wednesday.
I'm Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities, and I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too. This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. All right, we're back. WildDinosaur.com. They're cool stuff, guys. I know, because I know a guy that works there. All right. So, Wednesday. Boom. Graphic looks good. So, I remember hearing about this a while ago. That this was happening. That Tim Burton was involved. Sorry. Tim Burton was involved. And I don't know why, but and I know this in my brain, but for some reason I was just like, oh yeah, Tim Burton, he did the original Addams Family movie. Well, not original, but he did the Addams Family movies. And I was like, no, he didn't. Apparently he was supposed to. I think he was like the first to want to direct the Addams Family before we got the Addams Family and Addams Family Values, which are fantastic movies, by the way. I haven't revisited those in a while, but God, the Thanksgiving scene in the second one is pure gold. Or the whole Thanksgiving play. So, Wednesday. What to say about Wednesday? Well, to start, This is showrun by Tim Burton, and the first 4 episodes are directed by Tim Burton. And I think people want to know, because Tim Burton has this track record. He's a great director. He's done some really great films. However, I don't think many of those films fit in the last 15, maybe 20 years. I think there's things here and there. I have a couple of people, when I've talked to some people like Sweeney Todd or whatever. Also, I will always correct people when they say, well, what about Nightmare Before Christmas? He did not direct that movie. He produced that movie. Tim Burton did not direct The Nightmare Before Christmas. Henry Selick did. I always say Selick for some reason. I don't know why. Henry Selick. See, I keep doing it. Henry Selick is one of my favorite directors. He's done quite a bit of things, not just stop motion, but he's done some live action stuff too. Monkey Bone being one of those, which I really love that movie. So Tim Burton, he's got, hold on, let me pull up his IMDb, because, I'm surprised there was not a link right there. I don't remember his whole filmography lately. His upcoming has Beetlejuice 2. Yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen. They've been talking about Beetlejuice for 20, 30 years. Okay. So why is this on the producer list? God, IMDb, you guys, your website fucking sucks. You updated it somehow, and it fucking sucks now. Okay, so before Wednesday, he did Dumbo. I did not see Dumbo. I heard really bad reviews. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is okay. Prehistoric Caveman, it was a short. He did a couple of shorts. Big Eyes, that's the one I think is maybe one of his better movies in the last decade or more. That came out in 2014. He did Frankenweenie, Dark Shadows, Alice in Wonderland, Sweeney Todd. Okay, Corpse Bride. Big Fish is also a really great movie too. I have a hard time watching that one though, just based on like emotional content. And then World of Stain Boy, Planet of the Apes, Sleepy Hollow. Okay, Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks is probably my favorite Tim Burton movie ever. So yeah, that's when we're getting into like 1996. Mars Attacks. So there's a couple of gems in there. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that Tim Burton's stint with Disney for the last decade or whatever, 2 decades, might not have been. I look. I don't want to talk shit too much. Sometimes, if you're a director or an artist of any time, sometimes you just, sometimes you don't have the creative itch, and sometimes you just, make a movie to make a movie, or to make a paycheck. I'm not saying that's what he's done, but it's hard to say that he's done too many great movies. Like, when I was growing up, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, what else? Oh, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, both Batman movies and Ed Wood. I didn't watch Ed Wood till I was a little older, but those kinds of movies were just like, those were modern staples at the time. Like, they were modern classics, and they've become classics, I think. and I don't think he's had so much of that with his stint with Disney. And I'm not saying Wednesday is like the best thing he's ever done, but Wednesday is probably the best thing he's been a part of since, at least for me, I liked Big Eyes. That was 2014, so almost 10 years ago. I don't think he's been consistent since around the Mars Attacks era. That was kind of the end of it for me. Sleepy Hollow was okay. I actually saw Sleepy Hollow the day I got my braces off. I got pulled out of school, got my braces off, and my dad was like, "You want to go to the movies?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, let's go to the movies." And we saw Sleepy Hollow. So yeah, there's definitely like a stint here where he's just got like classics. Beetlejuice, Batman, Edwards. This is in a row. So it's 1988, Beetlejuice. 1989, Batman. 1990, Edward Scissorhands. 1992, Batman Returns. 1994, Ed Wood. 1996, Mars Attacks. So like, you see what I'm saying? Those are like really great movies, and he hasn't had that in a long time. But then we get to Wednesday, and what I'll say about the Tim Burton of it all is, I think this is definitely meant for his aesthetic, the Addams Family in general, which is why I kept thinking in my head, knowing he didn't direct those movies, that he directed those movies. Jenna Ortega is the best part of this show. Without Jenna Ortega in this role, this show does not work as well as it does. I'd heard somebody mention this before. Without Jenna Ortega, this feels like a CW show, and I kind of agree with that. I will revise that to just say it feels like a Netflix show, because I think we're enough into Netflix having their own content that we can refer to Netflix as, like there's the Disneyification of this or that or the other, or this feels like a CW show or whatever. Netflix is getting there for me with their production in a lot of things, and this is a young adult series, so it has a similar kind of formula. Like I was saying with Warrior Nun in the previous segment, there is a formula here. There's the Netflix formula. And again, formula is not a bad thing. It can be overused for sure. This has a formula because it's a so little setup. I'm not going to spoil a whole lot because it's a whole murder mystery, and I don't want to like reveal who did what or all these things. But I will say that like this is a murder mystery, and it's not an Addams Family thing. The Addams Family is in this, but this is a Wednesday show. So Wednesday been kicked out of a bunch of schools. That scene in the trailer where she drops the piranhas in the pool, that's like the opening scene of the whole show. And so she gets put into this school for specials, like these, they're like kind of, I forget the term that they used. But they're all like abnormal kids that go there. This also does have a bit of like the Harry Potter vibe, where you're in this school, you live at the school. There's even like some stuff looks like it's I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they said like, oh yeah, a couple of these scenes were shot in the same castle or whatever, set or whatever, that any of the Harry Potter stuff. I don't think they were. I think I remember looking up that they shot this in Romania. Which is interesting. I've been hearing some random production stuff about like Eastern European countries. Plebs, where were they shooting? I think they were also shooting in Romania, something like that. I gotta check in with that because there was a Plebs movie supposed to be wrapping up the whole series, but and I know it went into production. I just don't know if it's done or not, or when it's coming out, or if it's out already in the UK or something. It's not out here. I don't know. Anyways, so Wednesday goes to this academy, and she's this loner type, but there's other kids that go to this school. There's like vampires, werewolves. I forget the mythological terminology, but they call them stoners, which I thought was really funny. But it's like they're not like stoners. They are like Medusa. They turn people to stone, which I thought was funny. There's not a lot of them, but there's one that like kind of circulates in the friend groups. And then there's the sirens too, which Wednesday ends up having some sort of contentious relationship with the most popular of sirens. What's her name? I forget. Bianca Barclay. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose. But yeah, so it's really about this school is placed in this small town. There's like a delicate balance between the town full of normal people, normies, and these special kids, stuff like that. And there's a whole cast of kids throughout this. There's Wednesday has a roommate who is like her polar opposite. She loves color, like bright colors, and she runs like a social media blog, stuff like that. And they don't hate each other, but they are like polar opposites. And Wednesday does not appreciate her mentality, but over the course of the season, you see how relationships develop and whatnot. or become strained in some cases. But yeah. Speaking of the original Addams Family, there is a cast member from the original movies, 90s movies, Addams Family and Addams Family Valley. That would be Wednesday herself from the originals, Christina Ricci. I will not get into any of her storyline because that would be massive spoilers, I think. But she is faculty at the school. And I think it was a fun addition having her there. There was a lot of this show did sporadically do things that were callbacks to the movies. Like I mentioned before, there's the whole Thanksgiving thing. There's a reoccurring Thanksgiving theme in one episode. Well, not just one episode, but throughout the whole thing. Which I felt like was kind of a callback to that second one. But okay, I'm sorry, I keep jumping around. The students, I think, without going into individual character bios or anything like that, they'll work pretty well. I think there's a couple of kids that might not be, I don't know, that just didn't hit right. Actually, there's one actor that worked better for me than when I'd seen him previously. The guy that plays Xavier, what's his name? Percy Haynes White. I'd seen him on, what was that, like, X-Men show? Hold on, I'm gonna look that up real quick. What was it? Was it The Gifted? Yeah, he played Andy Strucker, who was like the son of in like well, I don't know if it was connected to the MCU, but anyways, I don't want to go on a side tangent there. I did not like him in The Gifted. I watched that show for a little bit. It was okay. I did not like him in The Gifted, and I thought he worked way better in this show than in The Gifted. Not that he's like a bad actor, but I think that like whatever, some of his costume design in The Gifted, or his like style, I didn't like, and if I remember correctly, and I think like I don't know. I don't know if he was directed very well in some of the Gifted episodes, but here I think he works a little bit better, acting wise. I think he's a much stronger actor here. But yeah, there's the reality of saying like this feels like a CW show is there's CW acting in some of this. A lot of the cast are younger kids. Again, I think Jenna Ortega is the standout here. She definitely can lead this show. Oh, and yeah, of course, the principal is Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones, Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones, who does a great job here. What happens with her, actually? Right. I don't know. I think she was really well done, really well cast in this particular season. I've liked that she has this Netflix thing going on where she was Lucifer in the Sandman show. Didn't get enough of her, honestly. And I feel like there could, I feel like maybe like this whole season could have been Wednesday and the principal. To a degree. It could have just been about those two characters, and I still think it would have been pretty good. Gomez Adams is played by Luis Guzman, who a lot of people complained about, oh, well, he doesn't look like Raul Julia. The problem here is that the Adams family is pre-existing intellectual property. And I don't mean because there's movies from the 90s. The Addams Family has been around for a lot longer. I think it started as a comic strip. And the original artwork for Gomez Adams looks more like Luis Guzman than it does Raul Julia. So I think the casting was, looks-wise, done really well. I think I don't know that I'm familiar with too much of his acting, honestly. I just see him around. I see him pop up in things sometimes, and I think I referred to him as a comedic actor at one point, and I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. I think he does funny stuff, and he can pull off comedy quite well. I just don't know if that's his main thing. And Morticia Addams is played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, who there's a connection with part of the story arc is how the mother and daughter are connected, Morticia and Wednesday, and how sometimes Wednesday says really hurtful things and then follows up by saying you're a heartless mother, and then Morticia's like, that's the nicest thing you've said to me all day. Things like that. I think Catherine Zeta-Jones was a good choice. I hadn't really seen her do much in a while. Pat and I rewatched the Zorro movie, the first one. It's another movie I want. The second Zorro movie, I'd like to rewatch again sometime soon too. But she's great. She's a really good choice for Morticia. I do think there wasn't enough of the Addams family. I do know. I mean, I understand why the story wasn't about the Addams family. But I would like to see more in season 2. When or if I think I saw there was already an announcement or something. I might be wrong on that. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say they're probably getting a season 2. It's been pretty popular as far as I can tell. I think the Rotten Tomatoes score was pretty good too. So yeah, more Addams Family in the second one. Pugsley, I'm not familiar with who who that kid is that played Pugsley, but again, he's not in it very much either. For as little as there is the whole Addams Family, like Morticia and Gomez. Pugsley's in it probably even less. See, where is he? See, he's so far down. There he is. Isaac Ordonez. Yeah, I don't know if he's been in too much. Oh, he was in A Wrinkle in Time. Oh no, he's been in a few things. A Wrinkle in Time was his first thing. Oh, he was in a Chromeo video. He played young Dave in a Chromeo video. Must have been awesome. Bunch of shorts. Seventh and Union, Husky is short, and then Pugsley Adams. So this kid's probably got a career ahead of him. But yeah, season 2, more Addams Family, please. Please and thank you. I do like the idea of Wednesday being at the school, but finding ways to bring them in more. I don't normally say this, but even if they end up doing more of like an episode of the week type thing, they shouldn't do that consistently. But if they do a couple of those where it's like there's a story arc with her parents' legacy at this school, so they do like little bits of like Gomez's history, and a little bit of Morticia's history. I wouldn't be opposed to like one episode she deals with her parents, one episode Pugsley's in town for to visit his sister for, I don't know, spring break or something. When my brother was in college, I used to go visit him because I was in high school when he was in college, so I would go visit him when I was on spring break because we had different spring breaks, and so I'd go hang out with him and his friends at that time, which I'm sure was super cool. College kids hanging out with high school kids. But I ended up moving to Chico because of that. Well, my parents went to Chico, so my brother went to Chico. My sister went to university. Well, my sister's the oldest. She went to University of New Mexico. My brother went to Chico, and then I would go visit, and that's where I built my connection of like, yeah, I could hang out here. So I lived in Chico for like 4 years. I would say my college years, but they were only partly college years. Sorry, sidetrack, and I'm gonna try to get out of here in a couple minutes. I gotta go somewhere. This show is what should I say? Before I wrap up, there's one more person. Again, there's definitely not enough Addams Family in this thing. The little hand, he's around the most this season out of all the other characters from the Addams Family. You get, I think, an oil painting of Cousin It at one point, but that's it. You don't get a Cousin It. There's one episode with Uncle Fester, and it's a really fun episode. And at first, when I thought about the casting, I was like, well, what? That seems like a weird casting. And I started thinking about it a little bit more. And Fred Armisen plays Uncle Fester. And he's, again, not enough. This is how a show or a movie or whatever should be, is when you leave it wanting more of something, they've done something well. And, yeah, I don't know. I could see a full-on Addams Family show based off of this content, but I don't think they should switch up the format so much. I think it works with Wednesday at this school. I like her being the lead, so let's continue that. Oops! I just farted. I don't know if you heard that. What's my time code? 7. Said an hour. An hour and 1 minute. I farted. I'm gonna go back and check this out. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up. I didn't do this with Warrior Nun. I'll do it real quick. Warrior Nun, Smelly Pit rating. I give it a 2.5. It's fine. It's fun. If you're looking for something fun and entertaining. Wednesday, for me, is going to get... Where's that? There it is. Wednesday, I'm going to put at a... I'm going to give it a 4.25. A 3.25. It's... No. Whoops. I always forget my key commands here. 3.5. I'm going to do 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. I like this show quite a bit. It's fun. It doesn't require... Look, it's what, 8 episodes, hour each. I think this is a good format for Netflix shows. I remember when the Daredevil and some of these other shows were coming out, we're all like, 13 episodes is too much for some of this stuff. This 8-episode arc, I think works just right. Hour episodes, you know. There's not too much lingering about. So yeah, 4 or 3.5 smelly pits for the Wednesday show. I think there's a little bit of room for improvement in some regards, but there's like what needed to work really worked for me. This show doesn't work without Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. Yeah, I think just the fact that it's Wednesday and it's, you know, kind of fish out of water in a lot of regards too. It's a fish out of water story with the backdrop of a like monster murder mystery. I keep saying monster murder mystery whenever I bring this up because there's monsters. There's good and bad monsters. And there's, you know, there's some mystical things going on. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I liked Wednesday quite a bit. I'm really hoping for a season 2. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you watch Wednesday at all? Did you enjoy Wednesday? What are your thoughts? Does this feel too much like the lower budget TV series, or did you enjoy it? I mean, you can enjoy both. You don't have to like one over the other. But did this feel like something that was just not necessary, or another complaint I've heard is this disregards the Addams family, and it's like, well, I don't think that they really advertise the Addams family. The show's called Wednesday, so I felt like it was marketed appropriately. And I also think it works the way things play out. Again, I could have used more Addams family as a whole in this series, but I think it works out really well. And I want to see more. So anyways, don't forget to like and share this video. Help me out. Help me out, guys. Help me out. I need some help. Help. I need someone. Help. Not just anyone. I need you. Yeah, so let me know what you think about Wednesday, the series. If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, go check it out and come back and write a comment. Let me know what you thought about the series as a whole. Hopefully we get to talk about season 2 when that comes out. And yeah, so I gotta get going, but last 2 things, don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to support this channel. Again, I'm really trying to build this up to be able to support myself with with my art and things like this, these live streams and whatnot, gives me a good outlet to talk about things that I don't always get to talk about with some people, just because they either aren't interested or haven't watched it in time or whatever. That, and I don't know. I like being social with you guys, even though sometimes I'm here by myself for a while. It's fine. I'm just here. I'm just living. Just appreciating those guitars back there. I will probably be doing some live music jams here in the next couple of weeks. I know I said there was going to be some conversation about going back to 3 to 5 days a week after school. I think right now I'm going to keep it at the 2 days a week for now. Just, I got a lot of things to figure out. And, yeah, doing 2 days a week is fine right now for me. If I feel like 3 can work, I might go to 3. But then I know school will start again soon. So, anyways, I'm gonna get going. Oh yeah, the last thing that I want to do is, don't forget, I have a link in the description to donate to Planned Parenthood. I'm a big fan of Planned Parenthood. I've used their services in the past for various things, and I think they get a bad rap, and I think people in our country don't understand healthcare because it's not readily available, so we get scared when we have to deal with healthcare, and then we victim blame for, various purposes. And unfortunately, I think Planned Parenthood has become one of those scapegoats unjustly. And so I like to keep a link down there to donate to Planned Parenthood. I also think this is a good audience to talk about that with. So maybe one of these days, if there's some dudes watching that are, uncomfortable asking questions or talking about like healthcare, reproductive healthcare, family planning, stuff like that. I don't have a family, so I don't have kids, and I'm not married. I'm single. But that's a whole nother can of worms. We don't want to get into that tonight. So anyways, check out those links below, and I will be back on Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, and I'll probably do a little bit more review stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1899 or something. No, I want to finish Dark, but I'll probably plug in some instruments on Friday and see what's happening. See what's happening. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your evening. I hope your Thursday works out well for you, and I will see you all here on Friday. So, peace out.